I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Comments from the public? Come on up. State your name and address.
My name's Patty Cox, and my address was 1005 East 24th Avenue. A week ago, Saturday, the day before Christmas Eve, I had a fire in the basement. I got all my family out. I called the 911. Usually it takes my firemen only 2 seconds to get to my house. It took them 22 minutes. I lost everything. I don't understand why. I know they said they have to dispatch it clear over to the other state, and then they dispatch it back to us. And then I get my policemen were there. They was right there in no time. But where was the fire department? They had to be dispatched from another city to back here. And then pretty soon I get this phone call. What's your address? I've been here a long time. It's 1005 East 24th Avenue. And that's what I've always said. I just like to know why someone has dispatched them different. Because my house would have been saved. I know it was. Because my firemen, my policemen are always there in the 2 seconds. I live 4 blocks from the fire department. And I like to know why that it took them so long. I hear they had to dispatch clear over to nowhere land. I mean, have you ever lost a house? The way I understand it, I've talked to the firemen. They've never lost a house in North Kansas City. Now they have. And I have my whole family living with me. I'm in a motel, hoping I get to rebuild in my same place. My insurance is trying to find me a place, but I have my 2 girls and their kids, and my sister and my husband and I, 2 dogs and my cats living with me. Thank God someone my guardian angel was watching after me, because when I went down, I saw the blaze from a fire on the wall, the shadow. I turned my head. There was a black shelf between my washer and dryer. It was gone. I went and got my kids out of they were staying down there because they didn't have a place to go. I got my daughter, her fiance, and my grandson out. As soon as they got out, it goes, pfft. So I know there was an angel, but I want my house. This is my home. And it's gone because it took them 22 minutes to get there. I don't understand. It's not fair. I mean, now I got to be replaced until we figure out if I can rebuild. And I've got insurance, but I have to have a place to stay. I can't stay in the hotel all this time because they're going to have to bulldoze it down. What can you guys do? Can't you get them back over here? Can't we? Why can't we dispatch like they used to? I mean, I think it would cost you more money to dispatch it, contract it, or whatever to another state.
Eric, would you like to?
Yes, sir. Well, Ms. Cox, and everyone in the city feels very badly for what occurred to you, and we do hope for the very best for your family. We did, as the council knows, enter into an arrangement with Kansas City Fire Department to provide dispatching services for fire and EMS. That began last June. And we are still gathering facts about this incident, and we will make a complete report as to what occurred, why it occurred, once we have all the facts in hand. I might ask Chief Fisher to speak to the amount of time that it took our units to arrive at the scene on the day of the fire, Chief.
Sure, I'd be happy to. And on behalf of the fire department, we also express our condolences to your loss
You guys are great.
So the call came in at 7:48,
Yes?
49, and we arrived on scene at 7:55. So we have about a 7-minute response time.
Well, it seemed like someone said it was 22,
It was 7 minutes.
but it took. Usually they get there in 2 seconds. I don't think I would have lost my house. I'm sorry. And your firefighters, I'll tell everybody, I'm not ashamed. They're our angels and our police department. You know, I believe in them. I just don't understand why my house, why it took so long. I know that I was very upset when I heard 3 of our firefighters got hurt really bad. I felt it was like my fault. But I can't control what happened to my house or anything. But I felt very bad about that. But I don't know. I just don't believe it shouldn't have happened. My house shouldn't be down. It usually takes them 2 seconds to get to my house. I'm only 4 blocks from my house. It don't take them no time.
Ma'am, I can tell you that the fire started in the basement.
Yes, I know. I saw that.
In that style of house that you live in, the walls are open. So what happened is that fire traveled up the wall into the attic, and that's what happened.
Well, I know as soon as I got my kids out, it came out, the fire started coming out of the back door where the stairs came up, where I came up from. So, I mean, I believe you, but I just don't understand. I mean, nobody else has lost their house here. There was a house down on 24th Street. They didn't, I mean, but I just want to know, why can't we have them back here, the dispatch? Does it cost that much for our dispatchers to have our fire department on it? I mean, I just don't understand why they changed it. And I know I've talked to a lot of my neighbors and stuff, feels the same way. And I know you guys did a wonderful job. I mean, you've done, you firemen did a lot for my grandkids. And that made me feel really good. I'm not supposed to receive from anything. I'm supposed to give to people. And this time I had to receive, and that just killed my heart. So I just want you guys to find out. I mean,
We will be providing a complete report to the city council and discussing that in an open session in the next few weeks, once we and the Kansas City Fire Department have completed their investigation. And
so you said
the
I'm
council will
open?
be considered, yes, ma'am, it will be considered probably in a work session, which we do around 6 o'clock, at 6 o'clock on the night of council meeting. So as soon as we have all that together, then the council will consider this incident and any appropriate steps to take in response.
So how will I know what day you guys are going to do this so I can?
We'll be happy to let you know about that.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Mrs. Cox, we take this very seriously, and we're gonna find out what happened. Thank you very much. Okay, consent agenda? Anybody else? Okay. Consent agenda?
Move to approve. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Number 6, Musselman and Hall Contract Renewal, Resolution Number 18-001.
Terry?
Thanks, Sir. I'll call on the Public Works Director, Pat Hauber.
Thank you. The city's contract with Musselman Hall for concrete repairs expires on January 19th. The contract term is for 1 year, and it can be renewed for up to 3 additional years upon council approval. Musselman Hall has requested a 2.5% increase to the rates for this year, and staff considers that reasonable. We are very pleased with the work they do and recommend approval for for the next 1-year extension to the contract.
Move to approve.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Number 7, approving accounts due and payable by the city through December 29th, 2017. Bill number 7260, ordinance number 9057.
First reading.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
An ordinance authorizing payment for certain accounts due and payable by the city through December 29th, 2017.
I move that bill number 7260 be placed on second and final reading and passes ordinance number 9057.
Second. Call the roll.
Councilmember Stefan?
Yes.
Councilmember Farr?
Yes, ma'am.
Councilmember DeLong?
Yes.
Councilmember Lodahl? Yes. Councilmember Sanders?
Yes, ma'am.
Councilmember Stewart?
Yes.
An ordinance authorizing payment for certain accounts due and payable by the city through December 29th, 2017.
Call a roll.
He did. We're on number 8.
We're up to staff comments, I believe.
Okay, are we done? All right, I'm thinking about something else.
Actually, we have consideration of
Go
a
ahead.
request to hold a recess into executive session, but I'd consider we should do staff comments first. So just a couple. We do have the upcoming city items of note, and the status of the first quarterly status of city projects and purchases report is in your packet as well. If you have any questions about where we stand on any of those projects, we'd be happy to try to answer them. Lastly, we just note that the YMCA renovation project that the city funded is now substantially complete. A temporary certificate of occupancy, I believe, was issued earlier today. So there is a ribbon cutting this Friday at 11:30, to which everyone's invited, and that'll be an exciting step for the what I still think of as the North Kansas City Community Center now. Operated by the YMCA. So if anybody can be there, I encourage them to do so. That's all I have, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Well, Fred, I guess you're first.
Oh, well, thank you. Since the last council meeting, I was watching the news, and I think, I don't recall which channel it was. I think it was KCTV5. And they had a piece, an article on the news of this lady who was selling things, different items on Craigslist. And she would make the exchange between the buyer and the seller at a Quick Trip, and it was a busy Quick Trip store. And she had done that in the past, made various sales, and everything went fine. Well, the reason it got on the news is she got ripped off. She got was it at the Quick Trip store there, and it made me think that here some time ago, about maybe 2 years ago, we were going to have a safe zone for exchanges of this nature, and there's really has not been much, very little publicity. The publicity on this is very little. People really aren't aware of it. And if we could just put out there that such exchanges can happen in a safe zone, and I don't see why we can't have just a sign out there. It doesn't have to be a huge sign, but just, a sign that advises that this is a safe zone to make such purchases and exchange money. So that's what I have to say tonight. Just if we could have more advertisement on this situation, and that would, possibly help to avert these kind of things where people are getting hurt.
Didn't we discuss that a while back and have the police department was going to be the area to have a safe zone? I don't remember, we even talked about putting something down there.
Absolutely.
Making people aware of it, but did it take a vote or an ordinance or something to put a sign up down there?
No, sir, I think we do have something in the lobby, but we just had not moved. I don't believe we received any actual direction from council to put a sign up on the exterior of the building.
That's what I'm suggesting, is a sign on the exterior of the building and a little more advertisement.
Well, that and make the public aware through the TV channel that we use or whatever.
Certainly we can do that. I guess unless council tells us that's something that they want, we're a little reluctant to put a lot of signs up on the exterior of City Hall, but certainly we can try to do a better, do more in terms of letting people know that this is available.
Does the chief have any problem with some type of a discreet sign down there?
No, we have, following that discussion with the council, we have publicized it on social media. We have it on our city website that's something we can do. We have not posted signs on the exterior of the building. I can tell you that there have been a lot of exchanges, Craigslist type exchanges, that have occurred either in our lobby or in our parking lot, just through my own personal awareness of it. But as far as putting something on the building, that if that's the direction council wants to go, we can explore it.
Yeah, doesn't the Clay County Sheriff's have such a sign on the exterior of the building for such exchanges?
They do.
Is this something that the council wants us to?
Well,
I just want to
make
be
a
careful
motion.
about cluttering up the outside of the building.
I make a motion just to move forward. It doesn't have to be a huge sign, but a sign that lets the public know if they're driving by, they can see the sign that this would be a safe place to make the exchange. So I make a motion to do this.
I could support that. I'd second the motion, Fred. I don't even see this has to be I don't know why we even have to make a motion about it.
No, sir. Unless council objects, we'll take a look at what Clay County has and try to come up with a sign that we can put up on the exterior, but one that won't be
Too obstructive. And,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe we can put it in the report, the quarterly report, too. I think we've done that in the past, but
the quarterly. Oh, in our newsletter.
in news.
Yes, sir, we can do that.
But this really doesn't guarantee that it's going to be safe.
Nothing guarantees you're going to be safe.
Right.
Okay, Fred.
That's all.
I'm Tom.
Thank you.
Oh, Tom.
I'm glad to see all my fellow counselors back for another year of fun. It's awful cold outside. If you have friends, relatives, neighbors, dogs, whatever, make sure we check on them. Everybody needs to be watched over because it's brutally cold outside. That's all I have.
I've got nothing tonight.
I don't have anything, thank you.
Nothing tonight.
I'm cold too, so. Okay. Oh.
Last but not least, huh? Well, if any of you didn't think the trash man came, I understand he's still working. And pretty well that's it. And he may be done by now.
No, I'm certain they're done by now. They just came out a little bit late, but they were, believe they were done by 6 o'clock.
Yeah, they got 2 rounds, one for recycle now. They got that on time early in the day, and I understand he stuck with it after dark and got the trash picked up. It's been brutally cold, and it's supposed to warm up a little bit, then get cold again. But my wife asked me this morning where the global warming went, and I said, I don't know. I wish it'd come back. That's all I got there.
Okay, I'm done. 11.
Consideration of a request to hold in recess into an executive session as requested by the city councilor to be held on this date on a real estate matter pursuant to Missouri Revised Statutes, Section 610.0212.
So moved.
Second.
Call roll.
Councilmember Steffen?
Yes.
Councilmember Farr?
Yes, ma'am.
Councilmember DeLong?
Yes.
Councilmember Lodahl?
Yes.
Councilmember Sanders?
Yes, ma'am.
Councilmember Stewart?
Yes.